Episode 2, Season 1. This season, we're not going to rush forward through anything. We're going to slow this down and start where all of this truly begins. Because if you don't understand this, then everything that comes after, the creatures, decisions, the consequences, none of it will land the way it should. And it starts with something that you think you already understand, and that's sleep. Now, for mortals, sleep is simple. You get tired, you lay down, you drift off. Maybe you wake up in the middle of the night, walk the dog, grab something to eat, check your phone, maybe keep someone else awake with your snoring, who knows, but it's routine, it's harmless. It's something you don't even think about really. For a vampire, it is the most dangerous thing that we do. And the first part is, we don't have a choice. Sleep is not optional for us. It's not a luxury. It's not even rest in the way you understand it. It is a requirement. And avoiding it doesn't make you stronger. It destroys you. Slowly at first, your thoughts begin to slip, your judgment starts to bend, your emotions stop making sense. Then your body follows. And before long, you're no longer in control of anything. You are reacting, unraveling, becoming something unstable, something dangerous to yourself and everything around you. Not because you chose to be, but because you tried to outrun something you were never meant to escape. So every vampire eventually faces the same decision. You are either going to lean into this and master it as best as you can, or it will break you. Because what we call sleep is not sleep at all. It is a trance, a death trance. When it begins, you feel it coming. There's a pull. It's subtle at first, like something inside you is asking you to shut down. And if you fight it, it doesn't go away. It builds, heavier, stronger, more demanding, until resisting it takes more out of you than surrendering ever would. And when you finally give in, you don't drift off. You fall completely. A vampire in trance gives up all control. Outwardly, the body slows to the edge of stillness. Temperature drops, movement stops. You become something very close to dead. If you are disturbed the wrong way, you don't wake up. You're gone. Just like that. But the outside isn't the worst part. The real danger is what happens inside. Because when the trance takes hold, everything you rely on disappears. There's no sight, no sound, no sense of time passing, no body to anchor you, no world to stand in. You are left with nothing except awareness and whatever you truly are beneath everything else. Now, most would assume that's where the danger ends, being alone like that. But it doesn't, because at some point, early on for most, something changes. It's subtle, easy to dismiss if you don't know what you're feeling, but eventually you notice it. And once you notice it, you can't ignore it. You become aware that you are not alone. Now, understand me when I say this. This is not imagination. This is not fear playing tricks on your mind. Every vampire who has lived long enough has encountered it. We don't give it a name. Not because we can't, but because anything you call it would be wrong. It doesn't move, it doesn't speak. It doesn't reveal itself in any way you could describe. And yet, it is there. Not watching, not exactly, but aware. And the moment, the exact moment you try to convince yourself it isn't real, that this is just part of the trance, it makes itself known. Not in a way you can see, not in a way you can hear, but in a way that removes all doubt. And this is where many young vampires fail. They panic, they resist, they try to understand it, or worse, they fight it. Let me tell you about one of them, Lucian. He was a promising youth of the Vampiric Order, new to the trance, full of pride and impatience. The first time he entered the death trance, he sensed that presence. A subtle awareness at first, almost like a shadow pressing on the edges of his mind. He tried to ignore it. He told himself it was nothing. That mistake cost him everything. The presence made itself felt, not by moving or speaking, by taking, whispering threats into his instincts, twisting his mind towards terror. Lucian panicked. He fought, resisted, tried to anticipate it, tried to outthink it. Each moment of struggle drew him deeper. The trance responded to his fear. What should have been hours of quiet reflection stretched into days, then weeks, in subjective horror. Each successive trance became worse for him. As he remembered the dread of the last, anticipation turned into obsession. He couldn't get it off his mind, and it became a circle that he was in. He could no longer lie down without imagining what awaited him. The presence adapted to him, to his fear, to his expectation. And the longer he resisted, the further he unraveled. His mind fractured, visions of impossible voids, shadows reaching into memory, figures that were not there yet were, sounds that existed only to haunt. His intuition, the gift most rely on, became both his guide and his tormentor, highlighting every doubt, every insecurity. Eventually, Lucian disappeared. No trace, no body, no echo, nothing. The Order still speaks his name, but in hushed tones. It's a cautionary tale. The lesson is clear, though. Accept the presence, lean into the trance, or you vanish. Some vampires try to fight sleep entirely. They become chaotic monsters, reflections of their own defiance. Lucian's fate proves it. The ones who survive learn quickly. You don't challenge it. You don't question it. You don't try to prove it wrong. You accept it. And you move through the trance with it there. Because in that place, your intuition is not guiding you somewhere. It's holding you together. It's the only thing reminding you that you are still you. Now, while all of this is happening inwardly, outwardly, you are completely exposed. And this is where servants come in. Loyal ones, trusted ones, not out of tradition, but necessity. Because when a vampire enters the trance, he is helpless like a little baby. And someone has to be there to guard the body, to maintain the environment, to keep the world from discovering what lies in this room. For generations, families have taken this role, a quiet, unspoken bond. They protect us, and in return, they are brought into something far beyond a normal human life. But understand this clearly. A human, no matter how loyal, cannot stop everything. They cannot fight off a mob. They cannot hold back people who are determined to destroy what they don't understand. And unfortunately, humans have always feared what they don't understand. They see a vampire as a monster, not because they are entirely wrong, but because they are incomplete. It's like asking a caterpillar to understand what it means to fly. You can't explain it, you can't describe it, but they will never truly understand it until they become it. And most never will. That gap, that misunderstanding has always created conflict. And that conflict created a problem. Because if a vampire is in a trance and a human cannot defend him, then something else has to. Something stronger, something capable of violence, something that doesn't hesitate And if you're paying attention, you already know where that leads. We'll get there, but for now, understand this first. Sleep for a vampire is not peace. It is a risk taken again and again and again. Because it has to be. Inside you are navigating something that can erase you. Outside you are trusting that nothing finds you before you return. And those who fear it, those who try to outrun it, they don't last. Not because they're weak, but because this is one part of existence you don't get to negotiate with. So you face it, you learn it, you endure it, and you make it through. You come back sharper, stronger, wiser, but never unchanged. Because no one goes through something like that and comes back the same. And if you're sitting there wondering what any of this has to do with you, that's fair. You're not a vampire. At least not yet. But understand this. Everything begins somewhere. Every transformation starts in a state that looks small, incomplete, limited. We were all crawling once. Every one of us. The only difference is what we become when it's time to change.